What's up, everybody? It's Sean from Worldwide Red Show. You know what to do. If you're new around here, make sure you like, subscribe, get involved with the channel. Listen, guys, I'm excited to be live with you today, a little bit before my lunch hour, well past many of your lunch hours. So wherever you're watching, anywhere around the world, I just want to say big up. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for watching. And as you guys know, listen, we support the greatest club in the world with the greatest fans, even if our fan base is ridiculously divided and toxic at the minute. So listen, I want to take a moment and talk about the game yesterday, what I saw, what I thought about the game, how it played out. And guys, to be honest with you, anytime we have a match like that, it really feels like a loss. It feels like a big loss to me because we went from a strong position and all we had to do was hold on for another minute and a half or so to a less than favorable position in our Europa League clash with AC Milan. Arguably the battle of the once great giants. Probably not even arguably because, listen, guys, let's be real. Both clubs are not anywhere near where we used to be. And really, I think that United are further ahead than AC Milan in that in many ways, I feel we've retained a certain amount of name brand status that they don't have. And as always, if you're new around here, don't forget to like, subscribe, get involved, but also get in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm really working out some kinks. What's up, my guy? Good to see you in the comments. Really just trying to get this live stream thing down and want to take a moment just to talk to you guys about the match yesterday, because as I said, it was in a lot of ways diabolical. I felt like that AC Milan really came. Listen, they came with more injuries than we have. And so, we always like to blame players, blame injuries, blame this or that. The truth is AC Milan had more players missing, and they came and played us off the park for much of that match. And I didn't see that coming. I don't know about you, but over here in the States, I get to watch a lot of different leagues. And I'll tell you right now for free, Serie A is boring. And many times it's slow. And they came and slapped us up yesterday. Let's not get it twisted. At the end of the day, they should have, listen, they had an offside goal ruled out. The second goal, I don't know about you guys, but that was absolute class. Now, it's debatable whether or not it was a penalty and a handball or not. From my angle, again, I'm looking through Manchester United glasses. It's a clear handball. He brings it down with his arm. I'm not having any debate. But I know people that look at it from different angles that said never touched his arm. But for me, clear handball, but you can't take anything away from the finish. Take a bow, son. I mean, that finish was amazing. Listen, I'm grateful at the end of the day that we got something out of the game, but make no mistake about it, it feels like a loss. I think AC Milan deserves something out of the game. I'm not going to lie. I mean, ultimately, I think we should win every match. And yes, I'm going to always look through my fan goggles. But listen, we weren't good yesterday, but we haven't been good for a while. That is the nature of this club, the nature of this team. That's why I wasn't shocked at all by the City result. And I've told you men before, and ladies, for you that are watching that may not be a male, I'm going to say this to you. If you think we're not about to eventually go on a winning run, you don't pay attention to this club, especially under this management. We blow hot and cold. We're not going to win the Premier League with the streakiness of our setup, of our management. We're good, then we're bad. We're good for, I don't know, we're good for what? Usually about an 8-game win streak, and then we fall apart for a whole month. Then we're good for 2 months. Then we fall apart. I've been saying this for over a year. I don't want to get into the manager today too much, but let's get into. Oh yeah. I'm seeing some comments right here coming through. That Diallo goal. We'll talk about that. Let's go ahead and talk about it now. Amad Diallo comes in. Really, I feel like this was kind of his Rashford moment. His moment to really stamp, his authority on the team, on the game. That goal that he scored was very much Chicharito. Very much so. And the pass by Bruno was sublime. And you guys know I love Bruno, but I do give him stick for being wasteful in some of the nonsensical passes that he makes. But that pass was just beautiful. Amazing goal. But once again, we have to rely on some kind of individual brilliant situation to score because we're just not creating. We have nothing from the midfield. I mean, we have nothing going through the midfield. Listen, this team right now is the exact opposite of Sean, because right now with COVID, I'm out of control. I got all kinds of stuff happening in the midfield, all kinds of stuff that wasn't happening before. Listen, our team, not like that. Midfield, diabolical. You guys already know how I feel about Mick Passion. Not going to go there today. We need, if that game doesn't show you more than any other game, that we need a central defensive midfielder more than anything. No more this talk about we have to have a center back, we need a striker, we need a winger, we need all of that. But more than anything, we need somebody that can anchor that midfield. Guess what? Someone we've been linked to in the past, someone who absolutely destroyed us yesterday, like Frank Kessie. Listen, the problem with Frank Kessie is that he kind of blows hot and cold too. He'll be great for a season, then vanish for a season. But the Kessie we saw yesterday, that's exactly the type of player that we need in our midfield. We need somebody that can boss the midfield. And listen, he ran through us yesterday. It was ugly. And you guys know how I feel. We don't have enough in the midfield. Arguably the best midfield player when he's on his game in the world is constantly hurt at our club. That's Paul Pogba. All you men saying get Pogba out the club. You see how we play without him. Absolute shambles. We need my guy in the lineup. So who's the virus now? Everyone crying about this and crying about that. We see how we play with or without Paul, and especially with or without Tony. When Tony's not on it, I mean, you're not going to get better than what we got out the City game with him, except he needs to finish that chance. He'll come good with that. Could we use another striker? Yes. Yeah, we could, because Cavani was a panic buy, and all you guys rubbing it in my face. Oh, you thought you knew what you was talking about with Cavani. No, we did know. It was a panic buy. We shouldn't have bought him the way that we did. Yes, okay, it's worked out a little bit, but has it really? The same stuff we're seeing out of Cavani is what we've always seen out of Cavani. When he's been fit the last couple of years, he's okay. But has he been fit much? No. And guess what? Guess who don't lose a fight? Father Time. The man never loses. The guy always gets dubs. Always. And when you start falling apart, trust me, I'm here. I played sports at a high level. And guess what? I got old. Father Time hit me. I got hungry. Bro man got fat. And guess what? You start breaking down. It's just the way it happens. So United are in a mess right now in a lot of ways. Why did we lose the match yesterday? Because we lost, in my opinion. I know it was a draw, but it feels like a loss, so let me be. Ultimately, a lot of missed chances. You know, not a lot, but we've had major missed chances. Harry Maguire, bro, I have tried to defend my guy. Yes, Timmy, good to see you. My man Timmy jumped in real quick. My guy, representing from the DMV. We know where you're at, Timmy. Keep doing your thing, man. Listen, I got to say this. Harry Maguire, I've tried to fight for you. Good to see you, Adam. Glad to see you jumped in. Hopefully you're still having a good time doing your show and, watching the right animes, not the wrong ones. Stay out that bad stuff. You're too young for all that. Watch this. Harry Maguire. Listen, I'm old, out of shape, and got issues, bruh, and I scored that goal yesterday. You don't even have to put your foot through it. You can literally walk through it and walk it into the goal. I'm going to tell you right now, my 11-year-old, he buries that. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you like this. My 11-year-old, but maybe not my 11-year-old, but I can promise you my 14-year-old, that chance Dan James has, that's buried. That's buckets. You can go ahead and count it, right? So we missed some great opportunities, but don't get it twisted. In my opinion, again, that's all this is. This is all fan opinion. I'm not getting paid to have an opinion, and I'm not saying my opinion's better than your opinion. I just keep it raw and keep it real. That's how I do. And I'm not going to bow down because people don't like what I say. If you don't like what I say, listen, you ain't got to watch. Ultimately, we made some big mistakes, glaring misses. We're weak in the midfield. Our midfield gets bypassed the majority of the time. Man out here crying about Pogba when we look terrible without him, and we don't have a CDM. And yesterday, we're missing glaring chances. But let's not get it twisted. If we put those away and we win 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, that's still a joke because we were outplayed the majority of that game. Now, listen, ultimately, it's the result that matters. If we play crap and get wins, I'll take it. But ultimately, here's the thing. I'm going to look at some things. Jerry, my guy, Jerry jumped in for a minute. One of my favorite brothers on the planet. If you don't know Jerry, big up, go subscribe to Jerry, because Jerry's going to bring the smiles, the happiness, and the joy, even when he's talking crap. Because sometimes Jerry want to argue with me about dumb stuff. I'm just playing, man. I always give Jerry the business. He's one of my favorite dudes in the world. Go subscribe to his stuff. Adam, once again, bringing up what I'm seeing a lot. Our injuries are piling up, but guess what? So is life. Every team has injuries. One of the reasons we have so many injuries is because we have a manager who refuses to use his squad the way that he should. Period. Point blank. I love Ali as a player. He'll always be a club legend to me. But this guy, the fact that he doesn't use his squad correctly, the fact that he lets, and you guys know some of the people who should be getting more minutes that don't. People say, oh, Bruno looks knackered, and oh, this guy looks like this, and this guy looks like that. Guess what? Because we go into a tie that we're up 4-0 at home, and we still playing everybody. We don't bring in world-class type talents like we have, like Donny van de Beek. Why didn't Amad Diallo start yesterday? Why? Amad Diallo started for Atalanta in the Champions League. So you mean to tell me he couldn't start yesterday against AC Milan and give people a break? So the injuries are piling up. Now Rashford's gone. Rashford is a big miss, because of the way we play, how we try to play direct and get in behind. So now we're missing more people. So what do I attribute the game yesterday to? A lot of things. Once again, midfield, diabolical. I want to go in on Harry Maguire because the truth is, Harry Maguire, you get on my nerves. I have fought for you. I've defended you, all kinds of stuff. But I'm telling you right now, the player we're watching right now is not the same one we had even in the squad last year. So you need to get your head out of grease, because ever since Ollie did not do Harry Maguire any favors by keeping him captain. He should have took the captaincy from him, let him figure some things out and come back, because he has not been the same this year. And even though yesterday defensively, at times he played well. I'm not saying he played bad, but how do you miss that chance? This idea that all of a sudden we got a threat in the box with Harry Maguire, that's a myth. This guy not only is missing all kinds of headers, he's missing chances that you have. I don't even know how you try to miss it and miss it. I don't even get it. So that was terrible. That's inexcusable yesterday. Ultimately, though, I see a lot of people going in on Dino. So let's talk for a minute. I have said before it's premature to give Dino the number one shirt and move De Gea out, because each of them have good pros and cons to their game. Dino, I think, needs to grow into this United shirt, because it's different doing it at Manchester United than Sheffield United. Should he have saved that point-blank header yesterday? Quite possibly, yes, he should have. He has to do better there. However, let's keep it real. Once again, terrible set-piece coaching, which we all see it, this zonal marking, not always sticking with a man. How Matic and McTominay both let the one big guy on the pitch, you let this bra run free. You letting this bra run free and get a free header. So listen, we can blame Dean for that. I hear you. I feel you. But let's not act like it's just one mistake there. Once again, diabolical defending. But here's the thing. Let's go. What was up with those substitutions? Dear Lord, baby Jesus. What they say in the movie? 6 pound, 8 ounce Jesus. Little baby Jesus. How in the world does that happen? These substitutions, right? Help us understand of all the times where you should have subbed my guy, Bruno Fernandes. This guy should have been subbed off so many times, doesn't get subbed. The one player we have to help relieve the pressure and be an outlet gets subbed. Bro, we got 2 left backs on the pitch at the same time. And had the audacity to say, I wonder why we were dropping so deep. We were dropping too. Because by nature, they're both left backs. They're going to drop deep. What in the world is wrong with this club? It kills me. This mates race crap. That's what it is. Okay. And United pulled a whoop-de-doo over us this week. We're appointing a director of football, and we're all excited. We got a director of football. Yeah, we got a director of football. Yeah, you got a director of football. Okay, somebody's been at the club forever. We didn't bring anybody in from the outside that could make a difference. We still got Matt Judge doing Matt Judgy things. We still got Ed involved in transfers. You know how it's going to be. This is all for show. And then you go to put in Darren Fletcher. It's like head of development of whatever he's doing, technical director or whatever. Why? What the bro was playing not even 2 seasons ago. What has he done to earn this spot? Like, I'm not trying to be negative. I run a organization. I am the CEO of a nonprofit organization, and I don't just hire my best friends because they need a job. Like, what have you done to earn this spot? We are run like some 2-bit backwoods situation, and it kills me. So why are we surprised when our managers struggle? Because we're rotten from the top down. It is what it is. It's so frustrating. Now listen, Ed, Mr. Murtag, Darren Fletcher, anybody else who might watch this video and think, what's this crazy American? He don't know crap anyway. Let me say this to you. You got this summer to shut me up. Prove me wrong. Go out there, get some business done. As I said earlier, we need a CDM. McMayo, McPassion, whatever you want to call him. He's not it. Fred, he's not a CDM either. He's got a lot of energy, but guess what? 8 games out of 10, bro can't pass the ball more than 10 feet and not have some kind of issue going on. So keep the man on. You got 2 players there that are bench players at best. Matic, my guy. Yeah, 2 years ago. As I said, father time, don't lose fights. Matic, done out here. He'll have a great game where he looks refreshed. Then he'll have 4 or 5 bad games. He can't do it consistently, not in the Prem. Move him on. CDM. Then start talking center back. And you men crying for a striker. On what chances? Like, how many chances are we creating for a striker? If anything, we need a right wing. We need Jaden before a striker. And I hear what you're saying. We got Ahmad. My man had one moment. The kid's 18. Calm down. Slow your roll. Stop talking about we got all these people coming through the youth. Okay. Who have been the most successful teams in the Premier League in the last 5 years? Who? Ask yourself this question. Chelsea, whatever you want to call them. Chelsea. I hear all of it. Chelsea, right? Chelsea, City, and the Scousers over the last 5 years. How many youth are they bringing through? Well, that's our DNA. That's our DNA. I'm all for the United DNA, but a lot of that's bull crap. The fact is, keep a youngster, keep the pathway open, be a little more proactive with bringing youngsters through. I get it. It's our history. It's our heritage. I get all of that. But the fact is, you can be loyal to a dead thing. It's not working anymore. I want to bring through an academy player all the time as well. But if they're not good enough, they're not good enough. And that's crazy when you have some that are good enough and you don't allow them to come through. You send them off somewhere else. It's killing me right now. So, guys, listen, the way I see it, how do we bring this thing back? At the end of the day, I think that we have so much quality in our team that I believe we can go to the San Siro next week and still get a result. So that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping, praying, believing, all that, looking around for the little Jobu doll to do a sacrifice or something. I need us to win a trophy this year. We need to make this thing happen. We need to turn this thing around. West Ham on the weekend, they're going to move to us. They will move to us. Their midfield is better than ours. They are looking to move to us. So we best not come and think we're going to have an easy walk in the park, because there's no walk in the parks right now. We're in that down slope like we normally get before we have another uptick. But don't worry, all of you, all the outers. You're in a good vein of form right now. And listen, I'm an all out guy, but I don't blast it and scream and carry on because it doesn't do any good. Matter of fact, I'm so pro Poch. I'm hoping that Ollie gets another year and then eventually Poch takes over from him. That's just how I've always seen it. Nagelsmann, I get it. There's all kinds of people that could take over. At the end of the day, It is what it is. I'm not stressing over it anymore. But all of you major Ollie-inners, right? You're down right now. You're on the mat, right? You're having a rough time. You're Rocky Balboa, and Mr. T done caught you and put you down on the mat. He's talking about he pities the fool. He's hollering at your woman. All that's going on right now. But don't worry, because if we know anything about Ollie, he's going to get you back on a good streak. And then guess what you can do? You can go back to making your videos talking about where's all the Ollie outers now? Ain't hearing no noise now. And you on your extreme and the others on the other stream can keep us toxic and keep us hating on each other. Because as long as we're divided, the real scumbaggeries, the Glazers, they get what they want, right? Divide and conquer. Listen, this weekend, let's do our thing against West Ham. Let's make it happen. As to the game yesterday, thought it was crap. Thought AC Milan deserved something. Was hoping for a smash and grab. Hoping we would win, but we didn't. We move. It is what it is. You guys saw what happened in the match. I saw what happened in the match. And here's the thing that concerns me. One more thing. Let's go. Will they sell De Gea as they want to save money? Listen. I didn't want to get into too much of the comments, but let's look at Ollie made subs. He's resting man's facts. Trying to rest man and going completely defensive when you haven't played that way all day. But here's the thing I want to get back to, that De Gea comment. Let's look at it. Who can buy him? Like who can afford that contract? It was a bad contract to give him. Who could? I think Dean is a more sellable asset than De Gea. Now, I'm good with either one. I just need the manager to be a manager and make a decision. You can't have two number ones at the club. I did a video on this at the beginning of the season. You might as well call me Nostradamus, Sean Stradamus, because I've been calling this season left and right. I mean, I've called our streaks. I've called things going crazy. And I see what you're saying. PSG might come in for him. Listen, I would say PSG is probably the only people who could afford him. So if PSG come in and say, listen, I got 30 mil on the table, 40 mil on the table for De Gea, I'm like, I'll sell him. Only because he's on too much money and there's no other way to get him out of the club. I think he's a better keeper than Dean Henderson. Dean does some things better. I like the fact that Dean commands his box and all that kind of stuff, but he's not a better shot stopper than De Gea. We saw that yesterday. Ultimately, De Gea's in his prime, but I would sell him. I would move on to Dean. You got to move on from one to the other. You need a solid number one that this is your job and this is my backup. You can't have this two number one stuff. It's too much nonsense. So ultimately, I would sell him. But what are we going to do? Do we trust the Glazers and we trust Sir Ed to reinvest the money? No, I don't trust them. Do you trust them? Nope. Ultimately, guys, I'm excited about the fact that we are still in this tie. Let's take the goods from what we saw yesterday. Well, what was really good? Oh, Amad Diallo. Take a bow, son. Way to come in and do your thing. Sorry that this terrible decision-making, it's funny because players didn't step up yesterday either. So, I'm sorry, Ahmad, that we ruined your debut because that was your moment and we ruined it for you. But anyway, we're still celebrating you here as fans. So ultimately, guys, what do you think about the game yesterday? How do you think it went? Did things go okay, good, bad, and different? Let me know how you feel about it. Get in the comments. Let me know. Again, if you're new around here, like, subscribe, get involved. Just on a personal tip real quick, one of the big obstacles that's kept me off of YouTube a little bit has been, I don't even want to knock on glass or knock on wood. It has been solved. I have relocated temporarily, but I've sold my dream house, but it did sell and it sold quickly. So hopefully I can start getting back into some streams with you guys and get involved. And again, I'm working through some new equipment, new setup as well. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay and things are good. But anyway, like, subscribe, get involved, all that kind of stuff. Let me know what you think about the game. Let's go beat them next week. We have no other choice. Let's just keep it positive because we know the negatives. Let's just try to smile through it and not be toxic to each other. If you disagree, you agree, just show the love anyway and keep it moving because ultimately I have to believe that eventually the United that we've always been is coming back. And I can't allow I can't allow my expectations of who we are as a club to go into the mud. So I'm going to keep believing we're eventually going to get it right. We're going to eventually make the right hires. We're eventually going to get some more players in that really know what it's like to play with high quality and high standards. And listen, I guess the frustrating thing, guys, is that we do spend money, but because we don't, it's Brendan, I'm about to jump off this stream and Brendan shows up talking about he comes in already. Is it already rant o'clock? Bro, no, you missed it. You missed the rant. I ranted for a moment. I did my thing. I said some things, but ultimately, as I'll say, Brendan, and as I'll say to all of you that are just still with me and watching, there's no reason to get your blood pressure all up. There's no reason to rant and carry on because we know what to expect from this club. We know we have seen this before. It's going down, but eventually we'll get a player or two back. And then we'll go on a massive, explosion upwards. We'll have a 6-week good period, and all of you will start singing Ollies at the Wheel again. And it is what it is. And you'll do your little videos about all the Ollie outers being in the mud. And then when it's bad, the Ollie outers will do their videos about you being in the mud. And it is what it is. Brendan, no, I've lowered my standards now. I'm not doing 40-minute videos. I've slowed up a little bit, but hopefully things are going good for you and you're not still locked down. If you are, I just pray that you are your mind is not going crazy over there in the Netherlands and all that kind of stuff. But guys, anyway, it's been Sean from Worldwide Red Show again. Yes, it felt like a loss. Ultimately, guys are tired. Ask yourself why, and then look at the situation the way it is. We're not playing as the club that we all believe that we should be. And at the end of the day, it's not all on Ollie. It's not all on the players. It's not all completely on the board. At the end of the day, we just got mess everywhere, and we're run as some podunk club. Mates race, best friends get hired, all that kind of stuff. And as long as the Glazers can take out $100 million, they're good. And that's what it comes down to. We're ran as a business, but we're still hoping and believing that one day we'll be back to where we belong, which is absolutely on the top. Because the truth is, we're still the biggest club in England. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world. We got some of the best fans in the world. And I think one thing we have to do, and I'm going to close with this statement, is we have to stop fighting with each other all the time. It doesn't agree to disagree. Don't be so sissified about someone not liking your opinion, where you get all mad and get all toxic and go crazy. At the end of the day, you don't have to like my opinion. It's an opinion. I'm not a professional. I'm talking about what I see. What I see sometimes is different than what you see. Just respect each other. If we can unify all this venom that we throw at each other and actually put pressure on the board and on the club, we'll see real change. But as long as they can keep us fighting with each other over who should be goalkeeper and whether or not our, anything from our manager being the next Sir Alex Ferguson to being a hobbit, I've heard it all. They just keep us divided, man. But ultimately, listen, big up for all of you that's watched. Hopefully you can hear me okay and things are good. Like I said, this was more of a test stream, but I want to jump in and let you know my thoughts about yesterday. Ultimately, AC Milan deserved what they got. They really could have won the match. You say, well, we could have won the match too with crazy missed chances that are ridiculous that we missed. But ultimately, I don't feel like we did enough. So let's keep it moving. The good thing is, I think we're a better team than them. So we'll play them in the San Siro. Let's go over there and slap them up and keep it moving. Let's go get a win this weekend. Stay where we're at. Yeah, Brendan, bro. Brendan always brings the fire, man. I wish I should have sent you a direct message when I was doing this. He said we should focus our hate on the Americans. Well, I thought that Donald Trump was the whole reason that Americans had issues. Now we have, it doesn't matter. If you have, we've had liberal presidents for the last, how long? We haven't had a conservative president since when? Like an actual conservative president. Like when? Reagan? Nah, probably Bush the first. Bush the second wasn't a conservative at all. Donald Trump was a card-carrying hardcore liberal his whole life, and he flipped up just to get elected, so he wasn't even a conservative. It's been liberals. I don't know what everyone's mad about. I guess because Trump, people just assume the guy was just straight racist or whatever. I don't know. In this culture, all someone has to do is label you a racist. I mean, they label me a racist, and I'm not even all the way white. And I'm married, and my wife isn't white. So I guess I could be a racist too. It's just cancel culture, man. It's a bunch of nonsense. Let's all just respect each other, treat each other right. And guess what? Whether you got an American accent, a Cockney accent, whatever kind of accent, I'm gonna treat you respectfully, even if I think what you're talking is absolute rubbish, which is my favorite British word to use. Rubbish. Love it. Anyway, guys, till next time, I can't let Brendan win and keep me to 40 minutes. So it's been Sean from World Red Show, and I'm out.